Hello and welcome to the trade setup. In this video we are looking at e.l.f. Beauty. It is time for another update. Additionally, an update was requested, so I wanted to let you know that anyone can make these requests and I will most likely cover them, especially if there is an actionable trade setup to follow. Now on this chart we can still track this structure that has developed so far. It does fit as a 1, 2, 3, 4th and a 5th. It could work out, so especially if we have already bottomed. But I do want to point out and I do want to present today other ideas that could still allow for developments higher even while breaking this larger area of support, especially since in the previous video I provided you this idea of a possible ABC movement to the upside. We didn't look too much into it. It could have been a fifth wave unfolding, it could have been an extension within a larger correction. But yeah, since we failed to create the expected wave 3 within this wave C to the upside, we fell back into the larger area of support from where we can still recover. So yeah, we are basically in the area of support for a possible AB or even a 1-2 setup developing here. But we do need to zoom out and we do need to be mindful that this correction could overall extend. This could easily turn into a larger ABC structure, and we will need to be watching out very closely for the areas of resistance that need to be broken for this to not be the case anymore, and those will be here in the shorter time frame. Now, before we get here to this area, I want to present quickly on the larger time frame a couple of other ideas. So I could argue that this was an initial wave 1 up instead of having it top here. Then this would have been a wave 2 down, a third wave up, and here in the wave 4 we could then allow for further extensions. Yeah, this could be something like 1, 2, 3, 4th and the 5th, in which case in the wave 4 we could end up going much lower between the $61.6 level. Oh, never mind, this is the wrong area of support. But the main idea is it extends down to the $27.7 level at the 61.8% retracement. You can read the other levels, but yeah, we would already be in this area of support. Not necessarily my preferred interpretation. I don't believe there is any one clear interpretation that is winning at this point on this chart. And another possibility that I am considering is the idea of still a wave 1 up here, a wave 2 down here, but then this doesn't need to be the whole wave 3 itself. It could be just an A wave of a larger wave 3, where this could be followed by a wave B and then a wave C to the upside. And in that case, we could allow for a retracement all the way down to the $34.3 level. And in that case, I am actually a bit confused. Did I just remove the 61.8% retracement here? Yeah, it's back. But yeah, we are looking for an internal area of support within this larger area of support in orange, which is why we will actually only leave on the chart the orange area of support for an extended allowed area of retracement and of correction for this chart. Now, with that said, I am still tracking, of course, the possibility of a direct breakout. And I will continue to do so, especially as long as we hold above the 78.6% retracement here internally at that $62.8 level. At this point, what I am really considering for this development to the upside, well, it would be within the idea of something like an AB, where inside this wave B I am tracking an ABC pattern with an expanded flat correction. In this case, I would need to see in this wave C unfolding to the downside still a few more lows, and in fact it is a little bit concerning because within the expected developments of this wave C in several 4-5 patterns, I would likely see a break of the 78.6% retracement. Now, keep in mind, we do also have some structural support in this area, so we may see at least some sort of a more significant relief rally from those levels, but I don't necessarily have too high hopes for this to hold. But that is based on the count, and you know what it is generally recommended is that you should trade the levels, not the count. And for that reason, we will continue to track this area of support. Now keep in mind, from a larger time frame perspective, both scenarios could work out from here. So this could end up being a 1-2 setup, and we could be followed by a very, very strong third wave to the upside, and a target for the interpretation of an ABC movement in this area does have quite extended levels that we should expect to reach, especially based on this initial 1-2 setup in this area as well. Now, if we are to extend further down into a larger retracement, I can give you an ideal target for a possible wave C to the downside in this case, and it would be at the 100% extension of the wave A, an ABC, in this case being the $33.7 level. Now, we can track this interpretation in something like, let's say, the blue scenario, and we can expect something like a 5-wave structure to fulfill this pattern and find a bottom within this larger area of support. Now, honestly, if we break below the 78.6% retracement, it will already be extremely likely that this yellow interpretation will not end up working at all, because it is likely that we will break below the 61.8% retracement. Once again, we had a brief break previously, but doing that will likely leave us only with this interpretation in orange, or the other interpretation that I just mentioned to you, that I showed to you in an ABC pattern that could still work out. But as long as we don't break below the 61.8% retracement in orange at the $27.7 level, we are still looking for further continuation to the upside on this chart from somewhere in this area. And for now, these are the levels. This is the trade setup. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and let me know what else you want me to cover, and I'll do my best to do that in the days and weeks ahead. And until then, I hope you have a nice day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye.